on CBS LA at 4, happening in Ontario Mills. Multiple fires in multiple stores at that mall. The arson suspect arrested by police. The fire comes just 3 days after a separate arson investigation at an Ontario warehouse just 10 miles away. Our Joy Benedict is live at the Ontario Mills Mall, which was evacuated and now closed. Joy?
Yeah, that's right. The mall does remain closed at this hour. We're here live at the Ontario Mills Mall. Now, the fire department just left, the majority of them anyway, but they still do have a couple of fire trucks here, as well as the police department. They have been searching this mall for the last few hours, one, to just make sure that everyone was evacuated, and two, to make sure that they didn't miss something, because the scene here earlier this morning was disturbing. Smoke detectors rang out at about 10:30 this
There's
morning.
swear words, but instead of bleeping them, they just cut the audio.
Calls of 911 to the mall, not only because of those fires, but because they say that people were saying they saw a suspicious individual, in fact, lighting those fires. And you can see very quickly video on social media showing not only those fires, but someone quickly being arrested. Investigators say they believe that that van intentionally set those fires inside the mall here. It's not clear yet exactly how many fires may or may not have been set, but they say multiple stores within the mall did have flames inside of them. The damage is still unknown at this hour. This was the very beginning of the day when the mall was just opening, so it didn't have a lot of customers, but those working here had to evacuate.
Someone's trying to light multiple fires inside of the mall. I know, it's crazy, man.
We just heard the fire alarm go on. The customers were like told to evacuate like very calmly by police officers.
Our first responding crews found multiple fires in multiple locations in the same vicinity. I can't speak to if they were set or not, but I will say that they are suspicious in nature.
Ontario PD received several calls for service regarding a suspicious male at the Ontario Mills Mall setting fires. Officers assigned here to the mall quickly located a male in one of the stores. That male was arrested in connection with the fires.
Now, it's not clear right now exactly how much damage was done to the mall or those stores inside. Again, everybody's saying that it was a very calm evacuation. They were able to get everyone out. The mall remains closed at this hour. It is not clear if it will open today or when it may in fact reopen. And we still don't have a lot of information on the person that was arrested or why they may have done this. All of that remains under investigation. Guys?
What a shame. All right, Joy, thank you very much. And again, that fire at the Ontario Mills Mall happening just days after a man allegedly set fire to a massive warehouse just a few miles away from there. And today, prosecutors revealed the arson suspect is comparing himself to Luigi Mangione. 29-year-old Chanel Abdul Karim was a no-show in court today because of undisclosed medical reasons. He's facing state and federal charges, including 7 felony counts of arson, filed by the San Bernardino County District Attorney's Office. Investigators say he posted a video online starting fires in the 1.5 million square foot Kimberly Clark warehouse where he worked while complaining about his pain.
The damage as a result of the arson was over $10.1 million.
Look, this is an alarming trend where we have these political activists where they seem almost proud of their crime. They don't seem particularly concerned with being caught. He's about to find out real quick that there are real consequences.
After the fire, prosecutors claimed that he called someone comparing himself to Luigi Mangione, the man accused of killing the CEO of United Healthcare and complaining about corporate America. If convicted, the aggravated arson charge carries a minimum sentence of 10 years to life in prison. He is now expected in court on Monday. And more breaking news tonight, Congressman Eric Swalwell, who's running for California governor, is accused of sexual assault. In a bombshell report, an ex-staffer tells the San Francisco Chronicle that Swalwell sexually assaulted her twice when she was too intoxicated to consent. The woman says Swalwell started pursuing her weeks after she was hired to work in his office when she was 21 years old. She says that Swalwell, who is married and 17 years older than her, also sent her photos of his genitals and asked her for nude photos in return. Swalwell released this statement today saying, in part, these allegations are false and come on the eye of an election against the front runner for governor of California. He goes on to say, my focus in the coming days is to be with my wife and children and defend our decades of service against This afternoon, there are growing calls for Swalwell to drop out of the race from his opponents and some of his supporters. Congressman Jimmy Gomez, who was part of Swalwell's campaign for governor, saying, quote, "Today I learned shocking information about Eric Swalwell, continuing ugliest and most serious accusations imaginable. I cannot in good conscience remain in any role with this campaign, and I am stepping down. Congressman should leave the race now." He also spoke with one of Swalwell's opponents in the race, Tony Burke.
Called for Congressman Swalwell to withdraw from the race for governor immediately and to step down as our congressman. That we need to have leadership that supports Californians, not threatens them.
And just in, Senator Adam Schiff says he is withdrawing his endorsement of Swalwell, as is the California Teachers Association. This, of course, breaking news. Will bring you any updates as they develop throughout the evening here on CBS LA. Turning now to the Artemis 2 grand finale, set to splash down in the Pacific within the hour. NASA teams are ready for the red-hot re-entry. Despite circling the dark side of the moon, experts say this is one of the most daunting milestones of the journey. The Orion spacecraft will push through the Earth's atmosphere at 25,000 miles an hour. And that's fast enough, folks, to fly from LA to New York in just 6 minutes. The 4 astronauts on board are counting on the capsule's critical heat shield.
I have a whole checklist in my head that we're going through of all the things that have to happen. It's not so much 13 minutes, it's more in my head about an hour and a half of things that have to go right.
Orion will get so hot during re-entry, a plasma will form around the capsule. That's going to be blocking the radio signals and cutting off all communication with the astronauts. The blackout period will last about 6 minutes, beginning just before 5 o'clock, and will end just before splashdown. And there are splashdown watch parties happening across Southern California. Let's start with CBS LA's Michelle Geely, live at the San Diego Air and Space Museum. Michelle.
That's right, a lot of excitement here, Juan, in San Diego. The line is long to get inside, and here inside of the pavilion, well, take a look. Nearly every seat has been taken. A big screen is set up there so we can watch all of the action. Now, splashdown should have about 50 miles from where I'm standing out in the middle of the ocean. The Orion capsule is expected to re-enter the Earth's atmosphere in just about 30 minutes, and then about 40 minutes after that, just after 5 o'clock, splashdown. Parachutes will deploy shortly before that, slowing Orion down. At 5:07, we expect that the capsule with the 4 at 20 miles per hour and splash down in the Pacific, where Navy divers will scoop up the astronauts. The excitement is definitely palpable here in San Diego for those who come to watch.
We're just excited to kind of welcome everybody back into this new era. It's really cool to witness history happening with people who are also, experiencing it with me.
Yeah, I hope it goes well. I'm so excited. I have been thinking about them coming back to Earth all day. And for more on all of this space excitement, our Brittany Ehrman is in Downey at another watch party. Brittany, I would imagine it's just as fun there as it is here in San Diego.
Michelle, that's right. The excitement is building right here in Downey, and you wouldn't believe it, but this event started 6 minutes ago. But I want you to take a look at just how many people have packed this room already. There are families, kids, space enthusiasts, and everyone's eager to watch Artemis 2 return to Earth. I also checked in with the overflow room, and there's some people in there already sitting down. And they tell me this is more than just a watch party. It's a chance to witness the end of a historic mission. Let's go ahead and take a look at some video here. After 9 days in space, the NASA Artemis 2 astronauts are heading home.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Splashdown in the Pacific Ocean near San Diego. The Orion capsule carrying 4 astronauts is capping off the first trip around the moon with people on board in more than 50 years. The mission took astronauts farther than Earth than humans have traveled in decades. And right back here at home, space enthusiasts, that is, did not want to miss a second of it. The Columbia Memorial Space Center watch party is filled with excited fans, all watching history unfold. Take a listen.
I remember watching TV when Apollo 11 landed on the moon. That was very surreal. same time doing history. In this case, the enthusiasm of people coming back and seeing this.
Gracias, Arturo. No, I'm okay. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Minds of all our young people who want to get back involved in some of this stuff. And what they can achieve today is much greater than the opportunities we had 50 years ago.
And you can see someone right behind me who's walking people through what's happening today. And I heard from some people here that tell me that this is so exciting for them because they didn't want to watch this at home on their couch alone, but they want to come here and experience this historic mission with community. For now, live in Downey, Brittany Erman, CBS LA.
So glad we're going to all watch together. Okay, Brittany and Michelle, thank you so much. And stay with CBS LA and CBSLA.com for continuing coverage of the historic Artemis 2 mission. We'll show you the splashdown live right here on CBS LA as part of a CBS News special report. Now to this, an Air France plane at LAX hitting the brakes on takeoff this week. It happened after another jet got a little too close to the runway. Simon Editor, Mike Rogers at the desk. And Mike, this is an example of the safety system.
This is an example of everything going just how it should. The Air France pilot paying attention to a warning system after a Gulfstream crossed just over the hold short line, sending this whole thing into motion and forcing that Air France plane to come to a stop. Yeah, so what he's referring to is on the runway, as these pilots are on their takeoff roll going down the runway, there are lights along the runway that give green or red if the flight is clear or not to continue with their roll down the runway. And in this situation, the Air France pilot and their crew noticed that the airport system lights were red, indicating that they should not continue their roll down the runway. All of this happened because a Gulfstream that was holding short of the runway, waiting for the Air France jet to take off, crossed just over the bars. There's a set of bars that are on the taxiway there. The Gulfstream came just across the bars. That's what triggered the red lights to turn on for the Air France flight. And really, when you watch the Air France flight stop, it's not a slam on the brakes type of situation. They had enough time to very slowly slow down, and the two planes never were really that close to each other at all. But it did have to have the Air France flight come off the runway, go back around, check all of their systems, resequence before they could take off again. But again, Juan, this is an example of the system, of the safety systems at LAX working.
Working and all's well.
Yep.
Too. Okay, Mike, thank you. Scrambling for a backup plan, how parents are prepping for a possible strike at LAUSD. Sticky or something today?
Starts with breaking news.
That's what we were missing. The show open. Because the first line was, that breaking news is, and, you know, go off with. Control Alt Delete. usually helps. Then I got a little worried when Michelle's signal started to crap out.
Oh, yeah.
She's supposed to toss to Brittany Erman. So I'm like, uh-oh.
Here we go.
Well, I could have just tossed to Brittany Erman.
Yeah.
Still, I was like, uh-oh, let me prep to see where she's at just in case. So, all worked out.
All is good. The system's working, Juan.
Worked. Think about back in the old days, Mike. It must have been like one end of the runway flashing light.
Yeah.
I think it's green. You see that?
Yeah, does that look good? Does that look good to everyone?
Because now it's LED and it's amazing.
Oh, Juan, it's 4:13 and I forgot about YouTube again.
Oh, is it on?
Yeah.
Hi, YouTube.
Hello, everyone. Wilson, Joe, Jules, Miguel, David, Lady. How is everyone? Brendan, I forgot about all of you again. I'm sorry. Happy Friday.
It's busy. It's a busy breaking news day night.
Yes. I'm going to add some tone to that, Ontario. Nat. Because remember you were saying it was just like you just.
Yeah.
It's because they cut out bleep words but didn't put a. Yeah.
Sounded-
It sounds stuttery.
Wow, what a difference, Mike. This wire.
Oh, yeah.
Perfection. Toss the other one. Time is ticking toward a possible LA unified strike. The district now negotiating.
YouTube, not only did I forget about you, but we're also ending the stream early today at 4:30 because of the rocket splashdown.
So we have all the tools and resources here.
At the Boys and Girls Club of Metro LA, Alejandra Lira and her team are preparing to help out LAUSD families with childcare if there's a strike.
We'll be providing meals, enrichment activities from 8 to 6 p.m.
Report us Thursday evening, where union representing teachers held a rally outside district headquarters. The two sides are negotiating with pay as a key sticking point. The union wants a raise of about 16% and a better starting salary for new educators.
To be a new teacher right now, you don't have enough money to sign a lease on an apartment for one person. You usually are having a roommate.
Teachers also want more mental health support and increases in special education. The district has offered a one-time 3% bonus plus an 8% bump over the next year, followed by another 2% hike the following school year. The two sides last met on Wednesday.
I think I can speak for the whole team when we say we feel hopeful.
In the meantime, Darcy Segura, who has 2 children in the district, is planning to open up her doors to other families because she works from home.
We also have a block club, so we're sharing resources, daycares that have space available.
The Boys and Girls Club says its Challengers, Venice, and Watts Willowbrook sites will be offering daycare if there's a strike. You don't have to be a current member, but you do have to sign up. What's the cost?
There's no cost associated.
The union says it's scheduled to meet with the district on Saturday for more contract negotiations. To get a list of the resources available during a potential strike, seen on TV. In Manchester Square, Jeff Nguyen, CBS LA.
Today, a rally in support of a Cal State Channel Islands professor who was acquitted of federal charges stemming from a protest at an immigration raid last year. Dr. John Caravello was accused of hurling a tear gas canister at federal agents during a raid of a cannabis farm in Camarillo. He was charged with assault on a federal officer. Yesterday, the jury returned a not guilty verdict after only 2 hours of deliberations. Today, Caravello encouraged his supporters to channel their activism toward helping people in similar cases.
We will extend this support to all future attempts to repress our solidarity. Not just the work for our immigrant neighbors, every single attempt to defend our people will not be unmet with a resistance.
If convicted, Caravello would have faced up to 20 years in prison. All right, turning now to the weather. Meteorologist Evelyn Taft tracking spring showers in our weekend forecast set. about another presidential run. She had to say about that next. And the Strait of Hormuz remains blocked tonight while countries consider peace negotiations. Oh, look at the two birds.
Jackie and oh, the little babies. My favorite is when we do these and then it's
They're
like,
right next to each other. Like,
yeah. But like when they're like, there's been times where we've taken it to air and like one of the Jackie or Shadows like just destroying some animal that it's feeding to the birds.
but hey, that's neat.
Yeah.
Neat. Oh. Isn't that crazy? Like, just like they see a weakness and they just go for it. They're just like humans. You know, I'm in the middle of the 4 o'clock and I get a top line from Courtney. Come see me as soon as you're done with the 4. It's like, you're doing the 6 and the 11. Leave me alone.
I just got a top line too.
About what?
She wants me to call her.
Just leave me alone. This is a 30-minute newscast.
Boo doo 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 doo. It's Mickey's on a Friday night.
Is this the type of music they put on a Friday night?
Kinda. I guess this is probably more like Beaches Tropicana.
Yeah, I can see
Yeah.
that. I've only been there once.
It's not bad. It's the hit and miss though.
They changed
What'd you say, Nate?
Rocco's to something else.
Yeah, it's called Maddie's now.
Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause
They-
I know one of the people that works there used to be, like, I've known the guy for like 25 years. Used to be like one of the main bartenders at Mickey's.
oh yeah.
And he posted on Facebook like, we're excited that the new signage is up.
Yeah, they finally took down the old sign yesterday.
I'm looking at the building and I'm like, wait, that's Rocco's.
Yeah.
Why did they change it? I thought that had a popular name.
They sold it. Things are changing hands so quickly over there.
Yeah. Well, I still haven't gone there either.
To what?
I can see Rocco's.
Did you go when it was Rocco's or no? Oh, I like it over there.
I mean, I like the layout.
Yeah.
That would be something I'd like it, but
It's a lot young. It's a younger crowd.
well, just my style, man. Me, young guy. I can fool them all. Former Vice President Kamala Harris opened up today on whether she'll run for president in 2028. Take a listen.
Listen, I might. I'm thinking about it.
Okay, that's pretty clear, right? She said that during an interview today with Reverend Al Sharpton at the National Action Network Conference in New York. There has been speculation over whether Harris would run for president after declining to run for governor here in California. U.S. and Iranian negotiators are arriving in Pakistan for high-stakes talks. Iran's parliament speaker threatened to place conditions on those negotiations, including a release of Iran's blocked assets and a ceasefire in Lebanon. Israel has continued striking Lebanon, and the two countries are expected to hold separate negotiations in Washington, D.C. next week. Vice President J.D. Vance warned Iran to take the talks seriously.
If the Iranians are willing to negotiate in good faith, we're certainly willing to extend the open hand. If they're going to try to play us, then they're going to find that the negotiating team is not that receptive.
Oil analysts say traffic through the Strait of Hormuz remains restricted. The White House is warning staffers to not place bets on prediction markets using information that's not public. CBS News obtained that email that aides received last month. It states the misuse of non-public information by government employees for financial benefit is a very serious offense and will not be tolerated. The email was sent March 24th, just one day before an unusual spike in oil futures trading and minutes prior to the president announcing he was postponing strikes on Iran's power plants. There are no evidence right now of anyone within the administration using inside information for these bets. Still ahead here at 4, it's all about Artemis tonight as the team of astronauts prepares to splash down right off the coast of California.
Oh, you get to do the family shot, Juanito.
With who?
Ev.
Oh, really?
Bring in Mike.
No, I'm not allowed.
Well, that's not right.
I'll get an X through my face.
That would be funny.
Once was enough.
Two times, Mike.
Son, is it Sonny Williams?
Yeah,
Not Son Williams.
not Son Williams, no.
Somebody wrote Sonny Williams. Son Williams. Yeah, because everybody thought it was Sunni for a while. It's Sonny, right?
Yeah.
Thank God I wrote that right now. Is it Sonny or Sunni? Son. Okay.
Okay, hi everybody.
Evelyn knows about this shot, right?
I will be here Monday. I will not be in the rocket, unfortunately. But I am here Monday. Juanito Carlos says hello.
Sunni. Okay, it's Sunni Williams, apparently.
Is it?
She's Indian. So.
Okay. Carlos that you brought here says hi. He's on the YouTube stream.
Oh, hey, Carlos.
Carlos one says hi. One minute, stations. 1 minute.
Is Carlos heading out tonight on assignment?
Carlos one wants to know if you're working tonight, if you're headed out. Who does he string for?
Ventura County. Come on, Ed.
I don't want to set it for exactly the landing time of my graph. It's okay. It's in the vicinity. We can just
Close enough.
It's adjacent.
basically, yeah, the clouds are staying offshore. So that's the good news. And then Artemis is going to land like it's San Diego technically, right?
Yeah, right here. Yeah, this is it.
Oh, it's good to be in the family shot at 4:30.
Okay, goodbye, YouTube. See you on Monday.
The Artemis 2 crew was woken up for the final flight day to the song